How's it going, guys? This is Legendary Nats, also known as Stan, and welcome back to episode 8. In the last episode, we took on the Capra Demon and also took care of Laura Undeadberg. Capra Demon also took care of me 3 times in a row, actually. And we finally bested him with his puppers. And now we are actually going to make our way back to Firelink Shrine real quick. And go speak and do a little bit more research into Griggs, and we're actually also going to go talk to our boy Crestfallen. So I shall head on over there. Now, that fight with the Capra Demon, I have said in the last episode that he is a difficult boss, especially for new people. Obviously, I died 3 times to him, so, you can even argue that he's hard for me too, you know. But he is actually a pretty good challenge for people first starting the game. I've actually had friends who played the game and they got so mad trying to fight against Capra, all because of the stupid dogs. The dogs are a pain. That's the whole reason why his fight tends to be a little bit harder than what it should be, to be honest with you. Because really, Capra himself is not that difficult. I just didn't know he could turn on a dime whenever he's doing his two-handed thing, which is an unblockable attack. I didn't say that in the last episode. If you do try to block that attack, it'll take almost all of your stamina, and it will just outright mess you up. Y'all saw it took a good chunk of my health, and, it's whatever. But let's go ahead and level up and try and get... Oh, only have the ability to get one more in endurance. Pretty soon, we will actually start building up faith and intelligence. I do want to actually build these up to where I can use both pretty viably, and we'll also build up our dexterity and, of course, vitality and attunement. So essentially, we're going to be going through all the stats other than resistance. Resistance is the only one that I can care less about. So let's talk to Crestfallen real quick.
Why, what a surprise. I didn't expect you to make it. Oh, somebody rang the bell. Wait, was it you? You never give up, do you? I don't know how you do it. Well, don't stop now. Only one more. But it's going to be suicide.
I'm too happy, bro.
Ah, your face. You're practically hollow. But who knows? Going hollow could solve quite a bit. What? Restoring your humanity? Well, there are a few ways to go about it. Collected bit by bit from corpses. Or you can butter up a cleric and get yourself summoned. And the quickest way, although I'd never do it, is to kill a healthy undead and pillage its humanity. Coveting thy neighbor is only human, after all. What are you looking at? Don't try anything clever. You might regret it. Don't you ever think to forge your weapons? You'd better find a smith box soon, unless you enjoy swinging about with blunt instruments. Did you see her? That virtuous little maiden, complete with followers in tow? They're probably going straight to pillage graves. I've heard enough about Milady for a lifetime. What's wrong? Get a bit of a scare out there? No problem. Have a seat and get comfortable. We'll both be hollow before you know it. Well, what are you going to do? I've already decided. I don't really care. I'm simply crestfallen. How did that nutty sorcerer make it back? Unexpected, but I suppose stranger things have happened. How did that raggedy old chum end up? You know, the one who idolized some godmother of pyromancy. He left for Blighttown, but never came back. Whereas most flee from sickness, he dives right in. Well, nothing will harm him once he goes hollow. What now? I'm not up for chatting. Leave me alone.
Alright, so Crestfallen Warrior has given us a ton of exposition. I know we've been sitting here for like 3 minutes. But he basically... I haven't talked to him in the past few episodes, so he basically gave us a lot of information to kind of go off of. He mentioned... first off, he mentioned about 3 NPCs. One talking about the Petrus's group, which we're about to go talk to Petrus, and saying that there is now a group of them up there. He is talking about Griggs, and then he's also talking to Pyromancer. We have not met a Pyromancer yet, but he talks about this individual, and we'll have to end up going to see him. This guy, he's basically given up on everything. He didn't want to be a part of this thing that everyone believes in, that they can be a part of, that they're a chosen undead or anything like that. He lost his will a long time ago, and he is just sitting here until he goes hollow. And then he actually tries to tell you the same thing, and he mentions, I wasn't trying to look at his cute butt or anything like that, but he mentions about us going hollow, and we're actually about to not be hollow anymore. So let's go ahead and reverse hollow. But he mentions about different ways that you can gain hollow, or gain humanity, by picking it off of corpses, which is like what we did right here. This had 3 humanity on it. Or going around and actually killing NPCs or other healthy hollows. So if I was to kill Crestfallen, which I'm not going to, but if I was going to kill him, he would actually, when he died, he would give me a little bit of souls, his armor, I believe, and then he would also give me a humanity. And we have been gaining humanity by beating bosses, because you also gain humanity by beating bosses. And also, every once in a while, you'll gain a humanity from killing enemies. You may be wondering, well, what is the point of humanity? Why does everyone talk about humanity? What is the deal about this stuff called humanity? Well, first, let's break it down. We're all hollows. When we are actually in our hollowed state, and if I was to take off my clothes, you would see on my chest, on the left side, right where my heart is at, there is a spiral that looks like a humongous infection. And that indicates that you're hollow. That means that you're undead. So if every time you die, you lose a little bit more of your humanity. And the more humanity that you get, basically they consider that like the stronger that you got. Though that's not really how humanity works in this game. And along with that, the more sane you are, I guess you could also say it would mean that you're more sane, you're more human. But humanity actually works in a few different ways. One, if you are in your human state right here, other than the fact that people can actually invade you or anything along those lines, if you are human, you actually have a little bit better resistance to like poison and different magics and all that kind of stuff. Just a slight boost in it. Nothing like nothing that you would write home to mom about or anything like that. Also, it increases your item discovery. So if we go over here to our stats, you'll see at the very right, a second to last thing down, right above attunement slots, you'll see item discovery. The more humanity that you actually have, the item discovery will increase up, and I think if you have 10 or more, it will increase it up dramatically. And so right now we're at 158, so that means that whenever we're actually killing things and they drop loot, well, it's not too often that I have that happen. But if I had more humanity and I had a specific item that helped increase item discovery, I would get more things. So I could get more humanity, I can get specific drops that enemies carried. If I wanted to get a specific weapon or something along those lines, like for example the Baldur Swag Sword, one of the weapons that I want, if I was to have more in humanity and had a ring called the Golden Serpent Ring, that would increase my item discovery a ridiculous amount, and I'd actually be able to get things a lot easier. So that gives a little bit of perspective about humanity. And right now, the best way to farm humanity is rats, because we have not unlocked some of the later areas, so we can't go to those farming spots. So right now, the only thing we can do is farm rats. Rats actually carry a lot of humanity in the lore aspects because they eat the rotting corpses and they gain humanity from that. So that's enough about that. Let's go ahead and talk to Griggs right here.
Did you see them? The 3 young clerics headed for the catacombs to seek kindling. Kindling is the art of feeding bonfires. The poor young girl sent down into a tomb. What a terrible mission she is burdened with.
And we'll find out more about that here in a minute.
Oh, hello. Well, you certainly are keeping at it. Myself, I'm fine. Let's get started straight away. Have you heard of Big Hat Logan? Master Logan is a great sorcerer and my teacher. Both of us came to this land as undead, but one day he departed, leaving only a note. I suppose he wished to keep me out of harm's way. But where does that leave me? I have dedicated myself to sorcery, but Master Logan could find no use for me. Yes, the note that Master Logan left. It only said he would travel to Anolondo by way of Sen's fortress. I can only guess that he seeks the regal archives. For Master Logan is a tireless pursuer of wisdom. Wisdom trumps all. Everything else is hogwash. When the curse turned him undead, I'm certain that he only felt it was the perfect chance to visit this land. I only wish that I had his courage. 2 things are required for sorcery. First, you must equip a wand. Second, you must attune a sorcery. Then you will be ready to fire away. Oh, and don't forget to aim. 2 things are required.
Okay.
Second, then... Oh.
What he is
Goodbye.
talking about, and
Stay
I
safe.
actually mentioned that he was kind of obsessed with a specific NPC, and that NPC's name is Big Hat Logan. In this particular world, Big Hat Logan is considered the strongest sorcerer. He actually is such a powerful mage. He created a bunch of different spells, and one of them is called Soul Spear. We'll actually get that much later on, but his whole goal, Grig's whole goal, was to actually get trained by him, and Big Hat Logan did not view him as someone who was worthy. That's mainly because the lore behind Logan is that he is so obsessed with sorcery, of knowledge, of learning, and so he spent the good majority of his life just reading books and trying to get smarter and smarter and develop more sorceries. And so Griggs actually wants to learn underneath him, and that's the only reason why he actually came to Lordran, was because he wants to follow in the same footsteps as his wannabe master, or not wannabe master, but the one that he desires to be his master. And he is wanting to prove himself that he is worthy of his attention. So that gives a little bit of background to Griggs. And so let's make it up here. We actually saw them at the corner of our eye, so...
Oh, hello. My guests have finally arrived. I will be departing with them shortly. So, I'm afraid I will be saying goodbye soon. It was a pleasure. Oh, hello. Miracles, I presume? Yes, I know.
So that's all he really has to say, and what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to buy all of his spells real quick.
The effect?
So, let me use up this right here. This should give me more than enough. Hopefully. Maybe not.
Oh,
I may have to use another one, but let's purchase all of... Well, no, I sure enough don't have enough. Thought I did. Well. So, let me go ahead and pop that other one. It's gonna give me like 20,000. No, I thought that gave more.
Oh, miracle.
So, gonna get that. These two I don't have enough for now, unfortunately. I thought I did, but I was wrong. But I do have enough to get this talisman, so I'll go ahead and get that. And that Thorlin talisman, we'll go ahead and read it. Medium for casting miracles of the gods. This talisman is only granted to high-ranking Thorlin clerics. Has high miracle adjustment, which, thanks to the divine protection, is not dependent upon faith. So this particular one is not really dependent on faith, as the other ones would imply. So, but it has a lower scaling, so it's not as good of a talisman as like the other ones. So,
come again.
Now, in the beginning of the game, I didn't really explain it, but we actually went right up these steps and we dropped down the elevator shaft and found 5 chests, which gave us a mace, or a spiked mace. It gave us a talisman of our own, which I actually have a talisman, so I don't even know why I bought it. It also gave us some cracked red-eye orbs. And because of that, it is implied that this was actually set there by Petrus himself. So let's go ahead and try and talk to these other guys. Alright, so he didn't really have much to say.
Hmm? What have we here? You look awfully raggedy. Times are grim. The least you can do is look sharp. Don't you dare meet my lady like that. You might scare her off for good. Oh, you again. What business have you? I don't suppose we can help, though. We accompany my lady on her righteous mission. It is quite a chore, but I'm stuck with her. And Nico, too. I can't very well abandon them now. Oh, it's you. We're to leave momentarily. The catacombs aren't exactly my idea of a good time, but what can one do? I do hope we meet again, rare or not. Oh, it's with the rare.
I don't really know what that barrier Nox means, but they have a mission to actually go down into the catacombs and try to get the Rite of Kindling, which there is going to be something very interesting that's going to happen later on. But I had mentioned that it was implied that that was all Petrus's stuff, especially the red-eye cracked orbs, which are not... which indicate that he has malicious intent. And we'll find out a bit more about that upcoming.
You are undead as well. Then we've no time to fraternize. I have my mission and you no doubt have yours. We must not let this curse overcome us. Did I not explain the urgency of our tasks? Or are you so uncouth as to lack such judgment? By the looks of you, I should think not. Did I not explain?
And this is the young milady, the maiden, who is tasked to actually go down there. And we'll just have to see what ends up happening. All I can do is say is I hope everything is going to work out for her. She seems like a sweet girl. Just trying to do what she believes is right. I almost thought that was a real player there for a second. I was like, oh, hold on. So let's go down here. She's still just chilling there with no tongue.
You again. What is it? Our futures are murky.
He doesn't have anything new to say. So, today we're not actually going to be able to make it down into the depths. I'm actually going to have to end this episode a little bit early. So, what we have been able to do is kind of uncover a little bit more lore, getting to talk to Crest Fallen Warrior, getting to find out some new information from him, and then also getting to talk to Griggs and seeing the reason why he came to Lordran. And then also seeing that Petrus has now a group or a party of people who now have to go venture on a very dangerous quest that goes down into the catacombs to go get the Rite of Kindling. And in the Way of White, that is something important. That's a very important mission that falls upon them. So we can only hope that everything is going to work out for them. So guys, I want to thank you guys for joining us today in this episode. I hope that y'all have a great evening, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers!